Hello, I'm Dragos, and in this video we're going to take a look of how you can enable two-factor authentication in your WordPress installation. You may want to do this to better secure your WordPress login. So if you have administrators, users or editors, authors that you want to enforce the two-factor authentication to their accounts, you can do this easily in WordPress, and they'll be prompted to provide a code from an email or from one application that can be installed on your phone. I have here an WordPress installation, WebDAS, and in here I have a couple of services with some products, and I want to enhance the security of these websites with two-factor authentications for the admin users. So if someone log in with the admin users to go to this two-factor authentication and be prompted to add extra code, to do this we're gonna need to use a plugin, and we're gonna need to install it first, and we're gonna go to install plugins, add new, and there are a couple of plugins that can help you do this, but the recommended one is UP2FA. Just search for it, and this is the plugin. This is the nice plugin that can help you activate the two-factor authentication. It has a lot of installs, a lot of good reviews, it's updated constantly, and it has also a premium version if you want that can help you add more features. So I've installed and activated the plugin, and firstly you will be prompted with a user that can help you do this. This is the welcome message, and in here you have the options to skip it or to start it. So let's get started and see what we need to do. So in here you have the methods that someone will need to use. So you have the one-time code via the 2FA app. So in here you will need to install an app, the 2FA app on your phone, and use that to begin. So I want also another option. The second option is to email delivery with the free plugin. So you can choose either of the ones. If you have a good email server, you can use the email one. Even if for instance you have like a customer base in there and you want to enforce also this for your customers, it will not be good to force them to use an application. It will be good to force them to log in via the code that it's sent on the email. For this I will use the email one because I have the proper email server configured in here, and I'm sure that I'm going to receive the email. I'll continue with the app, and in here you will have the options to use some backup codes. So what these codes are is the fact that in case the email is not sent and you need to log in, you can use one of these backup codes so you can log into the WordPress installation. We'll continue with the setup, and in here you have the options to enable it for all users. Again, depends on what your use case is, but you have the options to choose also specific users. You can choose the users you want in here, and you can check the admin one to enforce it. If you have other admins, you can choose them in there. You can choose the role. For instance, in here you have the administrators. You have the roles in here. I have SureCart installed, and you can choose also the SureCart roles in here. So I will enable this only for the admin roles. So like this, I will continue with the setup. You have in here options to exclude some users if you want. I will not do that. Continue with setup. So in here you have the grace period. In this area, in case you have users selected, it will let them configure this two-factor authentication for the next 3 days. And what will happen with the users in case they are not doing this, and this is how they can be enforced. So I will hit all done in here, and I will go to configure to FA now, and here you see that I have the email, so I am ready. And right now you should type the authorization code that was sent to the email. So okay, so the email was sent, and right now you just need to go and put the authorization code in here, validate and save. You can generate a list of backup codes, and yeah, these codes are in case you have problems receiving emails. You can use them to log in. I will just copy them and store them securely so they can be used. Okay, I'm ready. Close the wizard. And right now we should have two-factor authentication set up for this admin account. And to test that, we just need to go and log off, and we can log in again in here. And to do this, let me put the admin and the password, and right now if we log in, I will be prompted to provide the verification code, and we can go and wait for the confirmation code. So you see in here that the confirmation code was received, and right now if we enter the confirmation code, we can go and log in safely with the code that we have, and this should happen only for the user that we've selected in there. And in here we have also some policies that you can check. For instance, if you want to modify something, for instance, you can enable the application if you want in here, and in here you have the users. They can add others, can exclude them. So basically this is the setup wizard that we've seen. If we go into the settings area, in here you can enable the general settings for this, and also you have some options to modify the email and templates. And in here you see that you can modify the email that it's sent, the subject with the code. You can translate it and put it in any language you want. You can modify it in here as you want. User account to lock email, you can also modify this in case the account it's locked. In this part we're going to see how we can use the 2FA app to enable the two-factor authentication after we've seen the email one. So I will choose the one-time code via the 2FA application, and here we have the application list that you can use with this plugin. In here you have the list with the application that you can use. You have a couple of applications that can be used. You see in here the complete list. We're gonna use the Google Authenticator to do this. So let's go and configure this. I will choose the first option, with .p. I will continue with the setup. I will generate some backup codes. Basically these backup codes are to be able to log in case something happens and the application is not working. I'll continue with the setup, and in here again you have the options to choose the users, and in here I will just enable this for administrator. You can choose any roles you want in here. I will continue the setup, and here you have the options to exclude roles and users if you don't want this to be enabled for specific user or role. I will continue with the setup. In here you have the grace period. Okay, so right now we're going to go and configure the two-factor authentication, and in here you have a code that you can scan and link to your application. So what you need to do is to open the phone and to go and to the application and add the application, and in here you have the option to scan the code, and I will scan the code. So right now I have the application added in here, and you will see that, for instance, you have the application in here with the website, and right now I will gonna hit I am ready, and I will add the authentication code that was provided in the application. So let me insert the code. So validate and your login just got more secure. Close wizard, and right now I have the two-factor authentication enabled. In here in the profile you have a list of the backups methods, so you can generate a list with codes. If you want to log in case this is not working, you have the list in here. Just copy them and store them somewhere safe, so be able to log in case something doesn't work with the application. So let me copy this and paste them somewhere safe. And right now what you can do is to go and see if this thing is working. And in here let me log in with the administrator. And in here you have the authorization code that you need to provide. I will open the application again, and I will insert the code that is generated in here. And I will hit login. So right now you see that I was able to log in with the application code. Another settings in here that you can change is for the white labeling. In here you can change the text that you have in the login area. You see in here that you can modify the details in there to have something. Let's make it shorter, is too big, like enter your 2FA code. Let me save this, and right now if we log in and we enter with an administrator, in here you see that the text change, and it's enter your 2FA code in here. For instance, if you enter a invalid one, you have the error message invalid code. So yeah, in this way you are configuring two-factor authentications for your WordPress installations. I hope you enjoyed the video. In case you liked what we have seen, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video.